Welcome, podcast fans. It's time for the What's Up Bro podcast show presented by J&J Production Studios, the home for all your entertainment needs. All kinds of great topics discussed every week, a variety of different themes offered, special guest appearances, prize giveaways, and so much more. Stay tuned. And now, here are your hosts, Sam Crow and Big Hoss.
Well, salutations and happy Saturday, everybody. It is I, Sam Crow, here at the What's Up Bro podcast show, brought to you by J&J Production Studios, your one true home for entertainment. Big Hoss has just let me know, he says he apologizes. He's had an opportunity to go out to DoorDash tonight, so he's out there. Hopefully the weather is not that bad out in Colorado like it is here currently. It is raining like cats and dogs, and a bit of thunderstorms creeping in, which, just a reminder for everybody, too, to let you know, if you're new listening to the show and are not familiar with this, we have a possibility that we could have some power blips. Hasn't happened yet, knock on wood. Hopefully it won't happen, but just to pre-warn you ahead of time that we may go completely dark. If that happens, we will lose power, lose the internet, so we might this show might just stop suddenly. So just a precursor there for you guys to give you a heads up there. But we will continue on here. Hopefully that will not happen, and hopefully the night will work itself out. It seems to be kind of touch and go, so we'll kind of see how this plays out here with the weather there. But either way, so glad to be here with you guys on Saturday night. It's good and bad in a way, because we know the weekend is starting to come to an end, and of course there's always the dreaded Monday blues coming up, where we start the week all over again for a lot of us. Some of us, again, that could be our weekend too, so guess it depends on what side of the fence you fall on, but either way, we still want to give you guys as much entertainment, jam-packed as possible, and hope that you will at least get something good out of it. We had a good episode last night. If you missed that, you can check it out. It's available now. I do want to include, we always forget to do this, but we'll include our Linktree link there in the description of the podcast episodes. I know we usually have that automatically in for on the YouTube channel, but if you're listening to this anywhere else, we want to make sure that that link is there. You guys can go check us out on social media and find all the streaming services where we are available. Just a reminder, too, as we get into it, you do have some new merchandise in the studio store. If you haven't had a chance to check it out, please feel free to do so. Now is a great time to do some shopping. The holidays are coming up. You can get yourself some great gear there. I think they changed it recently. I know they modified it, which some things are different now. I believe there's a few more sticker options that are added. I forget what else I saw. There's a few new things that was interesting there. So check it out. You can get yourself some neat things there. We're going to see if we can get a promotional code going up to give you guys a discount. Still playing with the store features. Going to see how that works out. But go take a look and pre-order now. Get your shopping going, and you can have your seasonal shopping done right away. So that's all up new for you guys. What else do we have in the way of announcements there, too? Of course, the website is still in development. We are still looking to work on that. That hopefully will come up soon within the next, hopefully by the end of this year, next year. We want to have that. It's going to be our last major big upgrade for the show for now. That's in the works. We're still working on with the website developer to do that. So that's there. Also, if you missed it, we did post it on social media and circulate it on the YouTube community tab. We have the autograph photo from our good friend Miranda Maverick. It is up and available. We want to have a giveaway for that. We're hoping to do that around the holiday time, holiday seasonal episode time, which will be in December. So that is posted there. We let everybody know there. Make sure you like the photo, repost it. I almost want to say retweet it, even though you're not supposed to say that, but share it. Comment on it if you wish. Let us know you're interested. We have a couple people that we know already that we're putting that through, so you guys have been entered in for potentials for giveaway. We're going to have a drawing for that coming up. So this is an opportunity where if you haven't had a chance to do so, please feel free to go on and do that. You can like, you can repost, and comment all at once if you want to. Whatever you're comfortable with is perfectly fine. That's circulating now all over social media. Check it out if you haven't done so. We're going to hope to have that in December to give that away. We just want to get a few more names and try to make it a bit more competitive, I guess, is in the manner of speaking, the way to put it, just so that we can have a good draw to select and really have somebody who's total random going through that entirely. So that's up and available. Check that out as well. What else do we have? We got several things going. Want to give a shout out to our good friend Mr. J. Talked to him recently. I know they've not posted a show on the Ragnarok Radio Inc. main channel for his show. He's just been absolutely very, very busy. They're hoping to, he said they want to get back soon. They're definitely going to be posting some new episodes again. Hopefully they will be able to get some new shows out there, but we're looking forward to having him back, and we do want to have him on our show here as well. That's something that we are definitely looking forward to. We do owe him one for that one, so that's going to be fun. We're going to see if we can make that happen as well. Gee, what else do we have here? Oh, let's get our fire going. I know it's kind of hard. I listened to some of the episodes. I know you guys can't hear it here. Whoops, let me close this out. I'm not sure. It does sound nice, though, so we will play this. Maybe we'll figure out something later on to do this, but there we go. Now I can turn this up. I want to mute it so that we don't have anything else going. It's a nice ambiance even for us to hear, so that's there. So the fire is in the background. You can always play it yourself, too, if you want to, but just to give us a little background sound there. I feel like I think that's all we have, really, for right now, in all honesty. If I think of anything else, I'll add it. I know we'll have a couple of breaks coming up during the episode tonight here, so let's just jump right in. Let's sit back. I've been just kind of chilling tonight, really, honestly, with the rain and everything. I will say, growing up, I always loved a rainy day. Why, I don't know I can't explain it, but I should be more specific. I really enjoy thunderstorms. There's something relaxing about it for some reason. Don't know why, how, when, where, and what the case is for that, but that's just how I've been. So, really been enjoying that tonight. And, we talked last night, just to kind of bring it back here. We did a lot of reflecting, titling this episode tonight, Day Turns Into Night. I was sitting here thinking today even, the weather has been unbearably warm the last few days. Summer is still kind of clinging on. We haven't really officially shifted into fall yet, but we're getting close. The calendar is counting down. We're really just about, I think as of today, officially 2 weeks today to the first day of fall. And the interesting part is I can tell it's coming by the simple fact that it's getting darker earlier already. Now, for where we are typically in the East Coast there, throughout the summer, it get dark around like 8:30, I think is probably about the time frame it would really start to get dark. But now it's getting dark at like just after 7 o'clock. So signifying that we are indeed, even though the weather feels differently, the heat is there, we are heading towards fall. And a lot of activities are happening. School has been back in session now. A lot of kids are getting ready for outdoor sports, indoor sports. A lot of things change. Our summer kind of really shifts where, we're not in vacation mode anymore, even though I could probably be in vacation mode for quite a bit. I'm just one of those. I really enjoy it, so it's hard to let it go and let it die necessarily. So that's one thing. And again, as a grown up too, your kind of perception changes where you don't really have that. Not only the mentality, but you don't have the flexibility you had as a kid. Like, I would kill to go, I am in school still technically, but I would kill to go back to like middle school and just really have the opportunity to have that kind of nice range of like I used to have. Now, we were homeschooled growing up. I shared that before. You guys may have heard this if you're new and you learned something today. It was homeschooled, and so we kind of had a flexible schedule in a manner of speaking. So that wasn't always an issue where, we could do our own thing. We could, get homework done. We could split it up. I had kind of a different approach to it, but gave me a lot more flexibility. We went on a lot more field trips with the family and a lot of different things that happened in that time. So that was really one area where it kind of gave us that little bit of flexible independence. Now, I will say too, and I'm using this as an example, and I am not condoning this. I am saying this for anybody who's younger listening to, especially if you are homeschooled, or even if you have homework to have done a certain time. Make sure you do it right away. Do not put off anything that you don't have to, because it can come back to bite you in the rear end, and it has for me several times. And actually, a funny story with this. Sorry, hang on. I'm multitasking. I want to make sure we don't have... We haven't heard from Mr. Farr. Hopefully things are going well, but we try to contact him. Usually when we do that, he jumps onto our Discord server, which we are... He's not there currently right now, no. We are switching gears to using our Zoom account, so there is that. Just want to make sure that he doesn't log in, because sometimes he jumps on lastly. So, but there were instances where I procrastinated quite a bit, and I'm not ashamed to admit it now. It was quite troublesome back then. But the way it was panned out, my mom always said, if you get everything done you can now, it's better, but anything you put off or anything you don't complete, you had to do extra work the next day. So if it was, say, Monday, and I had several lists of subjects, math, science, history, geography, whatever, certain projects that had to be done, that's kind of how we kind of kept order, where we had the flexibility to work on our own, but there was a checklist to have completed by the end of school day. And so a couple times, I can't recall exactly how many, I know it was several, I unfortunately put off a lot of things and didn't get everything done. And so the rule was, my mother would say, let's say, for example, I didn't finish my math, which was one of the ones I never really finished entirely. You had to do a double load on Tuesday. So I still had math to do on Tuesday, but now I had extra to do. So, which turned out to be quite a nightmare for me there. So, don't procrastinate. Get it done. I know it's a pain in the neck. Trust me, I've been there. I get it. But you will really be happy to that you will be glad that you did it, and that you were able to save yourself some hardships, unlike for me. So, but again, that's one of the nice things about getting older and having that opportunity where you could, there's the lumps I said. Some things that could go back, like I mentioned last night, it could change. That would be one thing. But, it's you're young at that time. It's a different mindset. And, a lot of things I try to think about more are, what was I thinking? Why was I thinking that? Why didn't I do this or that? And again, it's easier saying it now in hindsight. Hindsight is always 20/20, but it is what it is. C'est la vie. So, but that, just take that at a grain of salt. Take it for what you will. That's just my advice I would give to anybody. So, take the opportunity of that, and it's perfect too, because the drawback now as we get into fall and coming towards wintertime, when we hit daylight savings eventually, as the days get shorter, it's even more of an incentive to not necessarily, depends on what you're working on, any projects or things, you tend to not finish. I always say I'm learning more so trying to maximize my time and trying to really get a lot of things done as quickly, not quickly, but as much as I can in the course of a day, because I have so much stuff to do, things I want to do, things I have to do. We're all there at some point. It's just a matter of there's just not enough time in the day in a lot of cases. That's very cliche. I never understood that growing up. Never had even really an ideal what that really meant up until now recently, as I've gotten older and getting involved in more things, having more responsibilities, and so on and so forth. I've really come to understand the whole magnitude of there's not enough time in the day, and or even if you do a lot of things, you don't have the energy. Like, I'm just going to bed. That's pretty much it. So, kind of like what Hoss was sharing about, he doesn't stay up late really anymore. He just can't. I mean, it's different reasons too, but it's the same basic principle. So, that's another way to challenge yourself and to really prioritize and figure out what you need to have, do, can do, etc. That can really be beneficial in the long run, whatever career job you have or school schedule, if you work and do both. There's all kinds of pros and cons and different benefits to having some sort of arrangement of things. So take that for what you will. Take it as however you want. That's just, my recommendation there. But, all these things kind of kick into place. And it's funny, too, because I, again, being a procrastinator in some extent, not always good at scheduling myself. I overbook myself. I double book. I forget things constantly, which I don't know if it's me, but I feel like it's gotten worse as I've gotten older too. So it causes me to have to write stuff down. I forget things. I've had this running joke. We've shared this, but I'll share it too because I always think about this to this day. In my family, there was always the running joke, we call it, of anytime we leave the house, somebody always forgets something. And I'll never forget this because my mother was a good one for this too. I'll never forget, happened on more than one occasion. I would be home doing, hanging out, whatever, looking forward to alone time because, my sister wouldn't be home or my dad wouldn't be at work and my mom was going out to do errands or whatever the case was. And I would be waiting for her to leave. And when I thought she was leaving, I would count it like, oh, she's coming back. And I'm like, what did you forget? You forgot something. I forgot my keys, or I forgot this, or I forgot that. And it's like, oh my goodness, like, just go already, It's like, my gosh. But now I do the same thing to where I'll sit there going, I tell myself almost instinctually now, I'm leaving here. I know I forgot something. I just forgot something the other day, in fact. I left something down at my parents, and I thought I had everything. Didn't realize till I got home, and I'm like, oh, shit. Totally forgot that. Meant to grab it. Had it in my mindset to grab it. I pre-planned that. Still forgot about it. That's the thing that really irritates me the most. You guys know what I mean? Like, I'm sure a lot of us have been there too. You could write it down 1,000,000 times. You could memorize it 1,000,000,000 times. You could leave yourself a bunch of notes. Like, I leave sticky notes around sometimes too, which helps. All these sort of things, and you still make a mistake there. So it's really kind of a never-ending battle. It's always I feel like it's a lose-lose scenario a lot of times. But either way, part of this whole, with change and with the season coming and with the days growing shorter and the weather going to change, and that adds a whole new element to it in and of itself. It's less activities outside, or it makes outdoor activities not as much fun. Now, the fall time, as we are now heading to, isn't always bad. At least up until it starts to get brutally cold, which I don't suspect will happen for a little while yet. I think we're still going to be riding some warmer days, even if at night now it's cold and everything. I think we're going to be beneficial. This is kind of the time of the transition period that I really like. But, there's so many things that you can go over and your mindset and you think about, and, I don't know. It's really hard to break it down. I mean, the best life lessons are just taking a chance and just making your best effort to do whatever you can, whatever you're striving for, or looking towards whether you're finishing up school, high school, or going to college, whatever. Biggest thing I always tell people is, especially now as I've gotten older, no matter how you do it, when you do it, why you do it, try to at least get some kind of a plan together. Doesn't have to be in stone. I think that's just going to be the root of anything, no matter what you do. And you could plan as detail oriented as you want or as little as you want, but just don't go with the flow. I hear that too many times. Not that that's a bad thing necessarily. Just don't let it get to be too lackadaisical where you go with the flow, because it's usually where a lot of people get themselves into trouble. Now, again, everybody's different. It's not going to be the same result for a lot of people, but just something to consider to steer away from. So, again, just some advice there. But with this time comes some fun, and I want to steer away from the philosophical because we did a lot of that last night. I was actually helping Miss Eliza tonight. We still owe ourselves a fantasy draft. We're playing fantasy football again this year. We've done it the last couple of years, so I was helping her. And also, she was working on some projects here, so I wasn't able to get into the studio to get things set up right away, which is also why we started a little bit later tonight, in case you guys were wondering. So we try to stay right on point, but things happen. I was also debating, too. I didn't know, there were no indications that we were going to have any electrical problems or internet issues, but I also wanted to see how the weather was going to play out in the event that we had a power outage or even potential blips. I try very hard to stay away from doing anything because the system and the software is so specific and very delicate in the means of getting the audio and the record and everything to go just right. which in fact I didn't reset the router, which I probably should have done before I started this, but everything seems to be running so far so good. So I debated whether or not do we push the show tonight. So, and I don't want to cheat the other guys because everybody wants to come on, and if we have a show, I want to do it. But that's all those things kind of come into play. There's a lot of things that we look at when we are engaging with and trying to prepare for this. We always kind of plan ahead as much as we can for shows. We know we have our regular times. The only ones we don't have, which we're still trying to work out a schedule, are our additional shows. Like we had an additional ASMR nighttime sleep episode and a What's Up Bro sports show episode. Those kind of just sort of, at least as of now, the way we schedule it is we take the opportunity when we can record them. But for the main show like we have every Friday and Saturday night, you guys know, because we're here regularly. In the event, of course, we have a special guest on, we either pre-record ahead of time or we just change the calendar entirely. We try to have everything situated and laid out. Now, in this case, like with Hoss not being here, he planned to be here. I know some things change. It can't happen. I know it gets frustrating, and we've had instances where I always tell him, try to let me know ahead of time, or if I can't make it, I try to let him know, just so that we are covered, so that we don't. I know that some things just happen, but we try very hard not to dump anything for the last possible second, because then usually we're scrambling, and we don't want to do that. A lot of times I'll have that where I'll say, you know what, let's just scrap a show. I remember actually, I'll share this because this is a perfect example, and I still think about this because we're actually we just passed the year marker, which I still cannot believe it. But if you guys remember when we started last year, for those of you who've been longtime listeners now, we had a very busy weekend just around Labor Day weekend, in fact, was what it was. And I remember specifically, we went to a wedding, Miss Eliza and I. It was actually a relative. And it was on a Saturday, and I said to myself, we had a lot of shows booked up. I had a show planned for Sunday to go meet with Ramsey. That was our first Into the Martial Arts World episode. We had one on Friday. It was fun, too, because it was one of those, Hoss and I had, he was free that weekend, I was busy, and then the weekend I was free, he was busy, so we had a lot of irons in the fire that weekend. But that Saturday night we had the wedding, and we got home. I know it was late. I feel like it was probably about 10:30 or so. Well, when all was said and done, we got home, put our little guy to bed, got changed and everything, relaxed. The whole time I'm saying to myself, I had told Hoss, I don't think he was around that night anyway. I said, do I do a quick episode? I think we did end up doing it, to make this a long story short. That's what I'm getting to. So I apologize too there. It's one of those nights where I'm kind of feeling that, it's been a longer day. Not that it's been terrible, but at any rate, I did an episode, short one, and that was memorable because I was so exhausted because we had the wedding was all afternoon. We must have been there a good 8 or 9 hours, and I was just tired going to bed. We also had to be up early the next day, but I really wanted to get content out because I figured, we have the opportunity to do it, why not? So it's kind of what we did. But it's interesting when, things like that happen, and, even this year, knowing I was going on vacation, I already told, I said to the guys, this is what we're going to do. We tried to record as many episodes pre-planned, and we had them scheduled to be up and available for you guys, which I think it worked out fairly well, all things considering. We didn't get quite everything the way we had hoped, but it did work out. So, but again, having that plan there and just kind of knowing how to act, and it's tough. Having so many things going on, and work and hobbies and stuff, and I still don't know. I've had people ask me all the time, how do you do it? I still really don't have an answer. I just tell people I do it. That's just the simplest way to put it. So if you guys are wondering what the secret formula is, just get plenty of sleep, eat well, take naps when you can, and plan your time as much as you can. That's really the nuts and bolts of it. So I haven't had an instance where I shouldn't say it hasn't caught up to me, but I haven't had an instance where it's totally fallen apart. We've had stressful times when like I said, I double book myself or I put too much on my plate, but usually it can balance itself out very well. So take that as you will and use that for a formula for how you can do your budget of planning your time through a busy week, especially parents who have kids that have music lessons, sporting events, martial arts lessons. A lot of kids take that younger. I highly recommend that if you haven't already. Do that. It's great, especially for after school. But all these other projects in amongst your spouse's projects or things going on and your own, it's incredible. So you got to really work as a team to figure all these kind of schedules out, which Miss Eliza and I are doing right now. We've had things planned, and we actually had instance where I shared this, I believe, yesterday too. We had to take an emergency trip down to the children's hospital for our little guy because our son had surgery, and he has casts on his legs, and we were instructed they can't get wet. Well, unfortunately, because of he has multiple disabilities there. One of them is which he tends to urinate when he not when he wants to, but he can't always help it. Sometimes he stores that for a few days, and then he kind of bursts and has a wet the bed kind of scenario. Ended up getting some urine down in his cast, so we had to make a trip unexpectedly out of the state to get him looked at, which even she said, I wasn't planning this, and I wasn't planning that. I had my day planned out, but sometimes things happen where you have to adjust. So those are the miscellaneous things that you can't control. So make sure you budget something for that if you can, but don't be surprised if those things happen unexpectedly. Sometimes people get sick. Sometimes family members die. Sometimes, not to be morbid too, but it can happen. So just make sure you do your best you can, and don't be frustrated by the results. Things just kind of work themselves out, and they happen. So there's my bit of insight and information for you guys. Hopefully that'll help you. Let's take a break here. We'll come back. We'll shift gears just a little bit. I want to talk more some fun stuff tonight there. Unfortunately, because we don't have anybody tonight other than just me. And let's be honest. I'm enough for you guys, right? We can be totally honest there. I'm just kidding. It's nice to have the guys there, but everybody's got schedules. Everything's going on. We just wish the best for everybody. I know we have our good friend Boo Boo who's looking forward to being back. She's just got a lot of things going on too. Working on some other special guests as well. So we're working on some things, but there's always that lull period. Stuff happens. We get it. We are very relaxed, very flexible, work things back there. So we totally understand that. We're going to see about possibly doing another guest appearance on another podcast show soon, and then we'll have that episode up available for you guys. We're always looking for opportunities there. So, and even for the folks of you guys at home, if you ever want to make an appearance on the show, we haven't talked about this for a while, but we're still always open to it. Let us know. We'd love to have you on, especially if you have a unique talent or a unique job, whatever you want to talk about. If you're looking to promote like a small business and you want to come on the show, that would be great. We'd love to help you guys out. So email us, j_jproductionstudios@yahoo.com, or hit us up on social media. We're getting quite the following there, and I shared actually an opportunity. We had a group reach out that follows us on Twitter X. Hoping to help do some more writing with. It's a company that kind of a group of guys, I think, that are friends that do it just for fun, but they write sport articles, and they asked us to be involved. And naturally, Hoss is not a big sports guy. He wasn't interested, but I am actually working on doing that. I'd love to get a first article out. So we're getting some exposure and some folks wanting to do some projects with us. And so we're really growing here, in which we're hoping that will inspire others too, and hopefully you guys too. You'll be excited to see some things we have coming up. Not going to give away too much too. I think a lot of stuff we're going to see about we're working towards for the new year in 2024. But we will put a little bit of a teaser there for you that could be some other big things coming up down the road. I know the website is the huge one, but we're considering other alternatives and options. Not to mention seeing the growth of how things go too. But it's been massive. I mean, even the numbers from just the downloads and the listens, you guys are awesome. We really appreciate it, and we can't thank you enough for what you do, and we're working hard to continue to give you the best content we possibly can. So big things are coming. We are rolling full speed ahead, full steam, and we are going to really pound things hard, pound the pavement hard, working on projects for the next year and beyond that. So we'll see what happens there. But either way, in the meantime, in the present, let's take a pause here, especially for you guys. If you haven't had a chance to use the restroom, or if you need a snack, get yourselves comfortable, get situated. Put me on, listen to us here. If you're playing a party game, maybe you're out partying tonight. If you're at a club, tell the DJ to turn it up. Patch us through. We'll talk you through the party. No problems there. I'm just kidding. But, I mean, we could do it if you really want to. But either way, plenty more content we're going to come here tonight for you guys. We're going to talk about some stuff. I'm actually going to share a little bit more in depth about, I did talk about this a little bit, some of the podcasts, the new ones that we have rebranded, especially the review show, because we got a fun one coming up soon. So we'll go over a little bit about that. Just kind of enjoying the fire, kicking it back. It's kind of shoot the shit weekend, as we like to refer to it sometimes. We don't have anything majorly planned. I was hoping to see about pulling a last minute guest on, but I don't think anybody's available tonight, so we'll make do with it. We're going to come up with some new concepts that we got as well once we get on a schedule, but either way, I'm going to hang with you guys tonight. This is what we're here for. We'll find something that we can really chill about, but we do want to share some things there, and we'll pick something to talk about coming back here that, when I say that, I'm not saying we don't have a plan for that. I'm saying it's more of, I don't want to be going on too much from last night. We wanted to talk a little bit more about it, but we wanted to have some of the other guys give their input. So since it kind of was sprung sort of last minute that I was going to be by myself, we're going to kind of switch gears a little bit. But I wanted to kind of tie into that just because, our fall theme coming in here, that we're looking at change, we're looking at a new cycle, new opportunities. Who knows? A lot of things going on, and trying to just make it all work. So that's the plan. That's what we'll talk about more coming back. We'll hang out. Maybe we'll do some, maybe play some of our own game here. We'll do something. I'm sure we'll figure it out. But just come in. Let's hang. It's a Saturday night. Even if you're just putting this on, you're relaxing and chilling. If you fall asleep, I'll do my best to put you to sleep if I can. That's what's going to help you. That's what we're here. We're full service here at the studio. So whatever you need, that we are here for you. We're here. But stick around, plenty more to come here at the What's Up Bro show. It's that kind of night. I think the weather actually sounds like it's broken, so took our minds off of it. There you go. Hopefully it's the same for you guys. Play some commercials here for you guys. A lot of great music there. Again, we are so thankful for the tools that we have at our disposal that we found, and we wanted to invest in some things. We didn't know where, we weren't sure. And even some of the things we invested in, we took chances with, but it really pays off. So my last advice bit here for you guys is, whether you're doing your own podcast, you're working on your own YouTube channel or your own website or whatever it is, take those leaps and bounds, because you never know how they're going to pay off, rather. So, if you're looking at doing your own business thing here, like we're doing here kind of deal, take a risk. Will it pay off entirely up front? No, maybe not. We've been doing this for a little over a year, and things are starting to grow now, but we're continuing to work hard at it. Sometimes you have to be patient, but you won't know unless you try. So get out there and make it work, make it happen, and be glad it did. We don't know if we're going to make this, if this will make us a lot of money going this either. That's not really why we're doing it either, but we just have a lot of fun. It gives us a break from everyday life, so that could be something special for you guys as well. Or it could become a new profession, which, again, this is still a side business and side gig for us, so whatever works. But take the opportunity. Don't wait. No matter what age you are, now's the time to start fresh. Get out there, explore a new hobby, a new career, have an adventure, make the most of it. Let's take our break. We'll come back then for more. Again, we'll recalibrate a little bit here, but actually let me take our fire off before I do that, because I always forget to do this. That's the wrong one. I got so many windows open here on the studio computer here. There we go. Again, I know you guys can't hear a lot of it, but the ambiance is great. Maybe we'll figure out how to patch that through at some point. We do want to play with some new features that we're working on. We've got some other ideas that we're going to do too, but that's a whole other topic we'll talk about. Maybe we'll dabble that a little bit later. Come on back, stay tuned. We might actually play a little bit longer commercial, just to give you a little bit more music to kind of chill out for Saturday night. We haven't done this for a little bit. Why is my system not working here? Oh, there we go. It's kind of on a slight delay there. Yep, let's do that. We're going to play this for you guys, a little bit of a break. We'll play a couple extra tracks just to give you that little kickback that you need there and put you in that good mood. These songs are fantastic. We love it, having it there. We'll see you guys in just a moment for more here at the studio. Happy Saturday to you. September the 9th. We're really coming into it. It's hard to believe, the middle of September pretty soon. Like, we're flying through this. The end of the year is going to come. It's going to be 2024 before we know it. But we'll try to help slow down Father Time as much as we possibly can. And to do that, we're going to give it our best effort. And at least, for nothing else, make you forget your woes and troubles, and hopefully provide you some good relaxation and comfort to inspire your weekend. Stick around for more. Stay tuned. We'll be right back right after this. See you in a bit. Oh my gosh, I can't even talk tonight. It's definitely the weekend. I need to go to bed soon. I'll be passing out not probably long after the show tonight, so come on back. I got plenty of steam for you guys. I'll see you in just a moment. Stick around. Be right back.
Hey audio fans, are you looking for fun and excitement? Have you been searching for that special show? You know, the one complete package you want in a podcast? Then check out the What's Up Bro podcast show and experience what true entertainment is all about. Stay tuned and don't miss the action. Available on your favorite streaming services, including YouTube. Thank you for all your support. And as always, we'll see you at the show.
We'll be right back to the show with more in just a moment. Please stay tuned. We'll be right back to the show with more in just a moment. Please stay tuned. We'll be right back to the show with more in just a moment. Please stay tuned. We'll be right back to the show with more in just a moment. Please stay tuned. break time is over. We're so glad you stayed tuned. Now back to the action as the show is set to resume.
Hopefully you guys enjoyed that. I gotta say, I've heard these tracks many times. A lot of times I'll just sit here and play them. I mean, it's fantastic, and it's just so upbeat, and, you know, some of them, most of them don't have any lyrics. Some of them do, but I don't know. They just have the kind of vibe where it's really a weekend thing, which is why we try to do it occasionally, but we like to play a little bit longer of a commercial, which I like to do, especially if I happen to be alone, which I am tonight, which still is not a big thing. I can still provide you guys plenty of entertainment. I'm so glad to be here with you. If you are just tuning in, listening live, welcome to the What's Up Bro podcast show. It is I, Sam Crow, your good buddy and friend here. Big Hoss, Mr. Fire, not joining us tonight. Big Hoss had the opportunity to go out and do some Ubering with a friend of his. He does that on occasion, so hopefully we'll have him back next weekend then. Had a chance to spend time with his mom last night, so getting busy here and there. We understand that. So things happen. But yeah, I mean, we, you know, try to pause here and get these little tidbits in addition to the commercials that we have too, but they really put things in a good mood. And I was thinking about this, and we kind of want to focus on this for the latter part here in the last bit of the show tonight. And it's actually perfect now too. Number one, the rain has seemingly stopped, which no storms in sight, no issues whatsoever equipment-wise, which is wonderful. But when you guys come to the weekend, what is your go-to? What is something that you enjoy? Now, again, Miss Eliza and I are getting to be old folks. We sit and watch TV and normally fall asleep without finishing the movie or the episodes of a show we're watching. But and occasionally I will play video games. I'm hoping to get some more of that going there. It's just difficult with the way schedules go, and I usually play at night, and I'm getting old and tired and cranky, and I just can't stay awake. But what do you guys like to do? I even want to get the books out. I want to read. It's just hard to do at night sometimes, and then finding time in the day is virtually impossible at points. So how do you guys do it too? What do you do, and when do you do it? Do you have designated times? I do that sometimes for certain things. Do you just take it as it comes? You know, do you savor the moment when you have a moment of escape? How does that work, and what do you do? Of course, you can let us know. Chat with me now if you want for listening live. Come on the show here. We got the chat wide open here. If you want to let me know there too, or send us an email, that's fine too. Just out of or on social media, I always forget that too. We have so much stuff. We really got to script this all better with that, but you know, it is what it is. It still works, and you know, I'm one of those. I love those multi-tools where, like, when you share a post on social media, you can do one post, it'll share it to like 6 different accounts that you have on different platforms. But lately, some of those haven't worked, so we kind of have to manually do it, which is fine. It just be daunting at times, which I'm sure a lot of you guys, especially younger generation that love social media, you totally get it. I'm preaching to the choir here, but either way, and back to the main point here is, what is your staple and go-to? Now, again, if you're an adult, I'm sure a lot of folks, maybe you go out to the bar at night if you have an opportunity. Do you just hit the bed? Do you work a long shift? You know, do you not have that endurance or drive to be up? Do you put TV on and fall asleep to it like we do? You know, I said too, we're looking forward to Oktoberfest coming up. We always play Halloween movies for the month. That's kind of my guilty pleasure, and amongst other shows I like to watch. So, but it gets kind of, you know, we play games occasionally too, like board games that we have. You know, trying to shake up the routine, because I feel like we get in a rut, and when you kind of get stuck there and you do the same old thing, and not that there's anything wrong with that entirely, but you guys ever feel that, like, you just kind of, you feel like you're caught in a time loop, or like you're in the what is that show called? The Twilight Zone. I guess I was gonna say time zone. That's wrong. And you're caught in a never-ending loop where it's just, you're living that same thing over and over again, and it's gotta get kind of dull after a while. How do you shake things up? What do you do? Especially couples, you know, couples who've been married for a little while, for a long time. You know, what do you do? How do you keep that romance going? What is your guilty pleasures that you guys do? Do you take additional trips? A lot of people like to travel. If you can do it, great. But, you know, Do you go out to sporting events? Do you go out to the theater? I mean, go out to shows. Some people still do that. Haven't been to a good theater show in quite a while, but what is that little one thing that maybe you do that maybe you both love? Or do you each have your own individual things? We're all still, unique people and different, even married couples, husbands and wives, or significant others of the same gender there too, whichever your case is, your significant others there, you guys are also individuals. So, you have one thing that your significant other might not like to do. I have several. I know, like Miss Eliza doesn't, and there's things that she likes to do that I don't. So, do you spend more time doing that? Or do you find ways to, I kind of call it, how do I like to try how I refer to that? You cohabitat together, but you do separate things, if that makes sense. And I'm going to explain that just a little bit of detail here. So in other words, you might like to read a certain book, or maybe watch a certain program, and maybe you're sitting in the living room, and your living space is set up to where your significant other is sitting in an adjacent room, but doing something totally different. And even though you're doing different things, you're technically still together. And some people don't always classify that as spending the same time together, because you're like, well, how are we doing that if you're doing one thing and I'm doing another thing, but we're still occupied in the same space? How does that really count? And I still feel like it does in some instances. Not everybody agrees with that, but I still feel like it could count. Do you do that? Maybe I'm trying to think, what are other examples that we do? There's got to be so many different things. It's just interesting because, we talk about kicking back, relaxing on the weekend, which is what everybody likes to do. Whatever your weekend is, it doesn't have to be a Friday and Saturday night and even Sunday. Could be a weekday, depending on scheduling. Everybody's different. Some people barely get time for a weekend. Some people work 7 days a week. I used to do that a long time ago. So never really knew what a weekend was. I maybe had a chance to take off work once a year. So I had taken off work for a little mini vacation, which was a weekend. Basically, that's how I had to do it. But so some people are not that fortunate. But for the majority of the masses, I would like to think that, you have that regular time when you do that, no matter, even if you work a little bit on the weekends too, which some people do as well. What is your go-to guilty pleasure? Even for food. We talk a lot about this, and I'll bring this up too because Big Hoss is not here tonight, but every time when he comes, always has a snack with him or some kind of good food. Now, I know we're on different time zones, so it's usually a lot earlier for him than it is for me, and a lot of times we don't eat till later, but he's always got something good up his sleeve, and I'm always impressed by the fact that it's just always delicious. We talked about, joking with him about, we go on a camping trip we're shooting for next year. He's going to be picking all the snacks because he just picks some good ones. I'm not very picky, so I could care less what I eat, how I eat it, when I eat it, as long as I get to have it. What's that? Well, yeah, we're just talking about, I said about how, actually, if you want to jump with me in a few minutes, you can, if you're not doing anything otherwise inclined. Well, talk to me through. I want to experiment with this. Go on Zoom there. Let's try this. Even though you're in the other room, I can still get a good idea with the audio. So I've been wanting to try this. So let's do that. We're gonna get Miss Eliza to jump in here for a little bit because we have a few minutes yet. We can go a little bit longer just because I started technically longer. So just let me know when you're ready. Actually, I can send you that link. Let me pull up Zoom. Yeah, we'll do that. So kind of a last minute bonus surprise for you guys to have her jump in. And actually, I know we're gonna talk about it for a few minutes anyway, because I was gonna do this too. Maybe we'll kind of put her on the spot if she can't hear me yet, but we'll see. Let's get this up here. Whoopsie doodles. But yeah, so whatever that is, or how you do it, or maybe you have family nights. And again, I miss doing that. We had that a lot growing up. Maybe this is your time to spend with kids, where you pick a movie to watch, or you have your pizza nights or game nights, which a lot of families do too. That could be one of your vices there that you spend time with, which I think is really great, and I highly recommend it as always, especially when you have younger children, because again, they are going to grow up and not want to spend any time with you at all in a lot of cases. So take the most of the opportunity with that. I'm not saying all the time, just in some case. Well, yeah, that is a possibility. We can chat about that here as soon as we get you hooked up here. That's all right. Well, I'm going to pull up the meeting here because we do want to try this. I mentioned to you guys, and just to reiterate, we are trying this. We have several methods how we incorporate everybody who comes in the show here, how we can get ourselves all together, because obviously we're not always in the same, or we occupy the same space in most cases. And we've had a hard time with that. We made some adjustments with the studio software. We're able to incorporate and hyper-extend our Zoom here, so hopefully this will work. So we'll get a chance to experiment with this tonight. Got that. Oh, man, hair in my mouth. Always dust and part. I feel that. Hold on. God gracious. I think I got it. It's one thing that's always weird. If you have like particles of dust floating in the air, and all of a sudden it just enters your breathing apparatus or your mouth, and you can't. It never really help like get it in there. So maybe I'm still gonna choke on it. I'm not sure. Let's see. All right, now I think we're good. All right, so let's pull this up. So yeah, this is hopefully we're really working to utilize this, and I hope this is gonna make this sound a lot better because it should afford us the opportunity to be all basically in the same room, which you guys, you know this already, but you should not really especially be able to tell the difference as well. So we're gonna get this set up here, and hold on here. Oop. There we go. That's the one I don't need. Okay. So more participants. Invite people. There we go. Copy invite link. Yeah, that doesn't help me. Okay, let's see. I'm sorry here. I'm multitasking. Copy invitation. I'm just trying to figure out the best way how to do this. I don't remember how I did this when Miranda was on, because I sent it to her over social media instead of emailing it, but I don't remember how I did that. Maybe you can jump in and can you join the meeting? We'll try that way. I can give you the meeting number and I can give you the passcode. Just let me know when you're ready. Make sure I stoke the flame, put an extra log on the fire here. There we go. Because I seriously do not remember how I did this. Let's see here. Live from... Okay. Another good reason why we want to use this more, because this will help us get becoming more experts at how we utilize this stuff, which, not that I've never used Zoom before, I just don't use it as often enough, so sometimes I can't remember simplest things in the mechanics of it. What's a desk phone? Contacts, email. Let's see. Oh, you know what? I think I did this way. Let me try something. There had to be a way. Here, let's try this. Oh wait, or that. Okay, that works too. Hold on. Oh shoot, it disappeared. Let's see. Ooh. Wait. Let me hold on. Available. Incoming call canceled. All right, hold. Okay, let me go. Wait a minute. Okay. Okay. All right. All right. Do that again. Call me again. 'Cause I think. Leave and join the meeting. Says I accepted it. Why is nothing happening? Alright, well there I am. host has joined. Let them know you're in here. Oh, because you're hosting the meeting. Again, this is all experimenting. Ah, there we go. Now, the only drawback is going to be is I can hear myself. Alright. I'm not even sure if you're coming through the... Well, okay. We'll experiment with this. So apologies in advance for everybody listening here. This is just kind of a... Can you put, like, headphones in? Ah, okay. That might help. It's still not going to help me, though, as far as whether or not you're coming through here. But... Okay, well, I can see... Alright, hold on, thought. Let's see here. Wait a minute. Nope, I need to open the window. Maybe I need to request the audio thing. Can you hear me? No. Well, I can hear you, but I can't tell. I think it's mostly coming from the... I'm not sure. Let's see. Wait. It says that there's audio there. Can you hear me? Well, obviously you can hear me because I can hear myself through it. Yeah, I can hear you. I don't think you're coming through here. Why is that? I'm not muted. I'm not muted. What the hell here now? But you're not coming... See, that's... I'm kind of glad we're actually trying this in a way for the last part of the show here, just because I'm hoping I don't have this problem with anybody else here, but let's see if we can... Okay, that... I don't understand. Meeting information... Mute my audio. Stop video. Yeah, because you're not coming through. That's weird. But you're not, even still, you weren't coming through, and I don't know why. Everything's showing it's good. Oh, wow, am I stupid? I think I probably know why. Hang on a minute. Okay. Hee-haw, folks. Ah. Okay, now try something.
Want me to talk now?
Yes.
Is that better? Now I'm talking.
It's strange because you're coming through. Maybe I can't hear it. Like, this is really strange. Because I have it patched through the system audio there. Oh, this is gonna be a pain.
Sorry.
No, not for you. It works because you're in the same space. But like now, if Hoss comes on, I don't know if I'm gonna be able to hear him. Because it's registering here that you're coming through. We might have to... Let's see here. Alright, well, I'm going to chat with you because I can hear you from where I'm at. And I want to talk a little about this because we might actually do a bonus episode, depending on tomorrow. I'm not sure because I wanted to do this one with you anyway. So...
Okay.
We have the review show, and one of the ones I wanted to do was we just watched, even though I know you dozed off for it, we watched the Meg 2, The Trench.
I did.
Yes. Wanted to kind of give some thoughts on that. So just share briefly, just a little bit, because I want to talk more in depth if we do this episode, but I also want to use this because I'm going to listen to this episode at the end just to hear what it sounds like. Give just your overall assessment of the opinion. What did you think, and what would you rate the movie itself?
I mean, it was okay. Again, I can't speak for it in the entirety, because I did fall asleep for some of it. In my opinion, it was not as good as the first one. But again, it was along the same storylines. There was more than just the Meg involved, and that's what I like the fact that they brought in
the other creatures.
Different types of creatures,
right.
And explained like how they came into the picture,
right.
because they opened up the Pandora's box. So,
oh, there we go.
You can hear me now?
Yeah, I
I
had
can hear me.
Yeah, that's why I couldn't hear you, because I had the audio. Okay, now we're good. Do I need to have that on? Probably not. Nope, don't need to have that on. Okay, so that's good to know. Okay, problem solved. Go ahead, continue.
Oh, I don't like. I also felt like it didn't do a really good job of explaining where some of the other characters were that were in the first one and they weren't in the second one. Um, but I mean, overall, it wasn't a bad movie. You know, the dog gets rescued at the end.
What would you rate it
Um,
overall out of 5 stars?
I would give it a 3.
Out of 5?
Again, wasn't terrible, wasn't the best either.
Okay. No, that's fair enough. Um, yeah, that makes sense. I mean, I want to do an episode. We can go in depth of that. Maybe we'll see how the day plays out tomorrow. But, yeah, no, it's hard to say. Probably have to watch it again to really get the full vibe of it. I kind of want to go back. Maybe we'll do that tonight. We'll watch the first one.
Yeah, the first one was actually very good, and I am not one that likes those types of movies, but it definitely had quite a bit of more of a storyline to it, I feel like,
Right.
than the second one did.
Okay.
And it was a little bit more predictable, like when the I mean, I don't want to spoil it for people who haven't seen it yet, but there were parts in the movie that were predictable.
Right.
And yeah, so it wasn't.
Well, that's common too. I mean, that's the thing. Like any more TV shows or movie, it's really they're the predictability is not what it is, or it is what it is rather. So it's gonna happen, but no, that's a good enough point for that one. Let me just see. I'm still trying to figure this system out. Monitor enable so that you can listen to this sound in your headphones. I don't need to hear myself. I think either way this patches through. I just want to see if this makes a difference too. But I appreciate that little feedback there. We'll do another episode for you guys there as well. We want to do an official for that podcast, the What's Up Bro review show there. We're going to do that. I did mention I plan to have you come on if you want to. We're going to talk about the new Frasier reboot that's coming out in October. Okay. I did tidbit this to you guys last night if you were listening to last night's episode. If you didn't, you'll hear it. If you can go check that out if you want to. We also wanted to review we have some new Walking Dead spinoffs. The Daryl Dixon spinoff actually is tomorrow. Yay! Where's the sound effects? Brand new spinoff series, which the premiere episode is tomorrow night, so we definitely have to watch that. And what else do we have going there? I feel like there was something else. Oh, geez. I don't remember. Do you remember? I think there was something else that I was thinking about that we were watching. I don't know. I can't think. Is there anything else you can think of that you wanted to review that we were watching that was new? Or going to watch?
That's new? Well, The Nun.
Thank you. The Nun 2. That's coming out. Yeah. Well, I did mention that one.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know if I will. I mean, probably you'll make me watch it anyway.
Well, the plan is...
But...
The plan is this. We will wait to rent it till it comes out because I think it should be available for digital renting for download for that next month, which, again, technically will be October anyway.
Correct.
So, I think that we'll give it a shot. We'll see what happens, but we'll do that and a few other things. I think there's a couple more we want to do, but that's kind of the idea we have for the lineup for that show. Again, we're going to have some of the others do it too, but I figure since Eliza and I have been watching some of these, we would start with that just to kind of kick things off right. As long as you're okay with that.
Sure.
So, yeah, we'll do that, and we'll have plenty of that. Maybe we'll do an extra bonus episode tomorrow. We'll see how the day goes there, but if you want to do that, but we can work on that. So, but also thank you for jumping in here at the end just because I wanted to test this out. I'm going to play this back and listen to it. Hopefully we got this resolved, and if it sounds good, then this is going to be our method of using this in the future, for sure, especially with the other guys who are not in the same vicinity as us. So hopefully that'll be clear up a lot of problems there, which would be great. But thank you so much for jumping in here. I know you got some stuff to work on. We're actually going to wrap things up here anyway because we are over our time for tonight. But thank you, everybody, to Miss Eliza there. A big round of applause.
Sure, no problem.
And we'll have a bonus episode out there for you guys possibly tomorrow. Stay tuned for that. We'll have the What's Up Bro review show, the first really official episode for that, not just the promo one we did. But we'll have a great review for that. Maybe we'll get a couple other things in there. Maybe we'll pick some of our old favorite shows we can throw in just for fun too. But stay tuned for that. We'll post updates there. Thank you there. I'm going to hang up with you if you don't mind. Actually, I think you have to I can leave because I think you...
No, I'll hang up. No problem.
Okay, yeah, good. I'm going to hang up anyway to end the call. So thank you for being here. We'll see you again soon.
Bye.
And for you guys, too, thank you so much for joining us tonight here at the What's Up Bro show. And we're looking forward to more stuff to come there, more opportunities. I'm going to turn this off there. And now I know I'm going to listen to this later, make sure I have the settings right. But I'm excited for this and a new opportunity for us to communicate with you guys even better. So make sure you join us there. Have a great rest of your night tonight. Let me get our fire going off there. Again, I want to make sure I click the right thing. There we go. Of course, for all of us here at J&J Production Studios, myself, Big Hoss, Mr. Fire, Eliza Jane, our good friend, too, Miss Olivia there, and all of our other special guests there, of course. We appreciate you guys. Looking forward to a lot of great things to come there. Lots of more fun stuff we have planned for you down the road. Hope you guys will stay tuned for that. Of course, as always, check out Linktree there. We'll post it there in the description for these episodes when we do them. Probably when we start doing that from now on, I'm going to make sure to incorporate that in the description there. Of course, it's always listed. The tag is listed there. We have the link there for that in the YouTube section there. So if you listen to this on the YouTube channel, you'll find that there. Please subscribe there and click on the notifications bell to get more details and updates when new content is posted there. Thank you guys so much. We love you all so much. Have a great rest of your weekend. Be happy, be healthy, and be safe. Please do not drink and drive if you're out having a good time tonight. We want everybody to come back, and we don't want any accidents, especially if it's not you, it's somebody else. We don't want to see that happen to anybody. We'll see you guys again soon. Have a great rest of your weekend. Have a great evening or a great morning, depending on where you are in the world. More to come here. We say goodnight and we say goodbye for now. Of course, as always, though, and it never changes. It never gets old. But until the next time when we see you guys on the next episode, take care of you all, guys. See you very soon. Good night.
Thank you for listening to the What's Up Bro show. Catch all the latest live action on your favorite podcast streaming services, including Spreaker, Spotify, iHeartRadio, and more. You can also check out episodes on the studio's official YouTube channel. Subscribe and become a member today. Don't forget to also turn on notifications so you'll know when new content is uploaded. Stay tuned and don't miss a single moment. We love and appreciate all your support. And as always, we will see you at the show.